Why? Why? Ugh. Y'all say things without knowing how much it means. Can you hear? Okay. Y'all are like, stop the stream and come back. Yeah, but when I do that, it resets everything I've set up. Literally everything I've set up. So all the work that I just did to set up the show is now erased because stupid StreamYard does not save what you have uploaded into your show. So, welcome. I'm on 4 hours of sleep. Because I was up till 4 a.m. finishing my book. Hey, 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 hey. Y'all. Ooh, child, your girl, I wrote for 10 hours straight last night. Ooh, child. I wrote for 10 hours straight last night. Do y'all understand? Do y'all understand? I have to read what I read. I have to read what I wrote because I had to get it in. And I have to read what I wrote because I don't know if it made sense. But it's a draft of the manuscript. So your girl got it done. My anxiety is on 9 bajillion million this morning, y'all. Because I'm tired. Oh my God. And this chapter was about codependency. So it was heavy. So good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Views from Amandaland. We do this Monday through Wednesday. Your news and truths by any joke necessary. Thank you for waking up on the right side of history. Please remember to subscribe, to watch for 20 minutes. Please replay the episode. Thank you to everybody who was replaying episodes while I was out. Please remember to add a super to show super support for this space. Pantara Villarreal has already done hers. So thank y'all. And remember to also subscribe to Patreon and join the SEAL Squad. I will be announcing the April Passage Posse passage. That will be announced before the week is out. I have chosen it. I have selected it. I think you all will be very happy about it. So look out for that. And I finishing the book. Now, for the record, when you finish a book, it just means that you now start the edit. So that's it. Like I finished the book today. I'll start the edit tomorrow. Yeah. So there's that. It's not you're finished, but you're just beginning like a whole new beast because now you got to go back and read what you wrote. But what I will say is this: in the case of this book, unlike Small Doses, like the Small Doses reread was such an arduous task. I mean, it was literally, honestly, if you own Small Doses, I'm sure you've read it and been like, why there's so many typos? Y'all, there's so many typos in the first run because your girl was just like, oh my God, I cannot read this again. I just finished it. And Small Doses took me 2 years to complete. So it was grueling, okay? Like grueling. So yeah, that was that. The second run is a lot sharper. The second run, but if you have a first edition of Small Doses, you have a relic because it definitely is like, was she half asleep when they published this? So, so there's that. And then, so with this one, I feel like it'll be a different experience because one, I didn't have as long to write it. So it doesn't feel like such a burden. But two, oh my God, I'm so tired. You know when tiredness just like comes over you like a wave? It's just like, whoosh. I'm like, and so this one though, I wasn't writing, and I was writing in like blocks because I would have like long stretches where I just didn't write because I was going through it. So this one, I'm excited for the reread because I wrote it I wrote it kind of like broken up. And so I need to read the whole thing cohesively because I also don't know when I repeated stuff. Like I'm telling stories from my life. So I think sometimes I'm sure that there's like chapters where I said the same thing twice. It's like, you already said that. Amanda, you already said that. You already covered that. So I am, oh yes, Kimberly, the power nap happening after the show tonight. It's not even going to be me power napping. The nap is going to overpower me. It's just going to take me out. Sleep. Okay. That 3 p.m. crash. Correct. That 3 p.m. crash is going to hit me. Yes, it will. It's going to hit me. So I am also going to be posting volunteer positions for Views from Amandaland. And I am also I'm in the process of locking down the date for our AmandaLand Summit. Yay! Yes. So looking forward to that. Patricia just asked if I picked up Jordy. I sure did. He is here chilling. Good morning, Marquise. Rachel submitted her paper. So we're going to get to the submissions. For as many of y'all as there are, we sure as heck did not have a lot of submissions. Okay. For as many of y'all as there are, we sure as heck did not get a lot of submissions. So just saying. And shout out to Sandy, who was handling the vetting. So there was that. And yeah. Some of y'all can't follow directions neither. So let me tell you that. Some of y'all cannot follow directions. And I'm going to just tell you now, with me, if you don't follow directions, you out immediately. I'm not even going to look at it. That's how I do. Okay? I'm not even going to look at it. It said 3 minutes. I allowed one person to submit 3 minutes and 28 seconds. Okay? I said a half page. Listen, why am I getting essays? Why am I getting who gonna read that on the TV? I mean on the computer. On the internet. Yes, Comedy Rule. Comedy Rule said she is one of those teachers that locks the door when class starts. Yes. And let me just tell you why. It is because you have to know how to follow directions. That's not the same as following rules. That's not the same. You have to know how to follow directions because you have to be able to very quickly apply instruction that can save you. And a lot of folks don't realize that is a skill that has to be practiced. So it is imperative to be able to follow directions also because you need to be able to listen. And listening serves a billion purposes. Being a solid listener serves so many purposes. And it is imperative that we, in an era where we don't do a lot of listening, we don't do a lot of active listening. We do a lot of texting. We do a lot of texting. We do a lot of like passive engagement. You know, we're watching stuff, but we're multitasking. Even when I'm on the phone with people or when I'm in front of people in real time, I feel like I have to repeat myself so many times. But side note, DHL, don't do it. Y'all, DHL is the literal worst customer service I have ever experienced in my entire 43 and a half years on this earth. It is so unbelievably terrible. Like, I didn't even realize it could be that terrible. I didn't know that it was possible for a customer service to be that terrible. And the customer service is in Costa Rica. Costa Rica, I love you for a lot of things, but your customer service hub for DHL is abysmal. So I have to pause on international shipping until I can find a solution for international shipping because I attempted to do this for the last drop. I can't even explain to y'all, but I'm gonna try. So I get a package from DHL and I'm like, why is this package coming back to me? The package comes back to me and I call them and I'm like, I mailed this package. And they said, well, we show that the package was delivered. Are you sure you have the package? Yeah. We show that the package was delivered. Are you sure you have the package? When I tell you, I wanted to fight. The gaslighting, Isabel. I literally said to her, I said, ma'am, I just told you I have the package. Okay? I said, the package is here. Well, did you give me the correct tracking number? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Can you provide it for me again? Sure. I gave it to her again. She says, again, it shows delivered. I said, that's the problem. That's what we trying to solve, sis. That's what we're trying to solve. She said, well, I don't see what the problem is to solve. It says it was delivered. Click. Because now we gotta shuffle the cards. We gotta shuffle the cards, y'all. We gotta shuffle the cards. So I come back. Okay? I come back. I call again. Now I get a man. The man is like, it's showing delivered. I said, sir, I told you that. That's what I told you. That's what I told you. Okay? That it's showing delivered. I sent this to somebody in Canada and it was sent back to me. I want to know why it was sent back to me. He said, well, it shows that you were sending it to Canada. It shows that it originated in Canada. Yo. So then I start doubting myself. And I'm like, oh my gosh, did I accidentally put the to as going to me and the from? And so then I was like, wait a minute. So I get off the call because I'm embarrassed. Like, oh man, maybe it is my fault. Oh my God. Then using my Harriet the Spy, rest in peace to the actress who played Harriet the Spy. She just passed away. Using my Harriet the Spy skills of deduction and slooper sleuthing, I realized that they had put a new sticker over my original sticker and mailed it back to me. So now I'm like, well, wait a minute now. Hold on now. Yes, Anita, they gave it a new tracking number when they returned it to me. So now I call again and I get a lady and I'm like, listen, this is my third time calling y'all and I need this to either get rectified or escalated. So what we doing? So she says, let's figure it out. So that right there already made me say, okay, we on the right track. Cause it was like she cracked her knuckles like, I'm gonna help this lady. I said, it looks as though my package was returned. And so then I had to open the package to find the tracking number. I was able to then tell her the original package was sent. Y'all, they had added the tariff. When it got to Canada, they had added the tariff. So when they had added the tariff, the person on the receiving end apparently was out of town and so didn't know that they had a tariff on their package. And I'm not sure how many days it had been there, but I don't feel like it was long enough because I feel like if you're out of town, they would still be able to contact you via the internets and then you would be able to get your tariff paid. So when the tariff wasn't paid, and by the way, it's a $22 tariff on a $20 pen. When they applied the tariff, the person didn't pay the tariff. They sent it back. None of this is documented. None of this is documented once they send it back because now it's under a new tracking number. So, and I'm not even going to get started on what happened in South Africa. All right. I'm not even going to get started, but people in here are suggesting FedEx. So that's what we're going to do. What I am doing for the next drop is, so also I'm going to lean into, I'm figuring out this business and I really just want to do pins and paper goods. I was starting to delve into other things and I realized that's not what I want to do. I really don't want to do that. I just want to do pins and paper goods. I want to do pins and cards and pins and postcards and pins and prints and pins and stickers and pins and coloring sheets and like that's really all I want to do. That's really all I want to do. I saw myself going down a road where it was like, yes, a bonnet kind of thing here and there, but you know, treating it as a yes, exactly, pins and notebooks, stationery, things like this. That's what I'm gonna do, y'all. That's what I'm gonna do. And I have to figure out a paper goods manufacturer. And that's what I'm gonna do. Because when I tell you, I love y'all so much. Chanel said, now I love me a good sticker now. I love me a good sticker. I love me a good sticker. Yeah. Pins, prints, and paper. That's right, Laurel. Pins, prints, and paper. That's it. That's what I'm on. Because you know what I think about too? Like, Lisa Frank was a whole experience, and I was on it. I still have all of my Lisa Frank stationery and all of that. So like, that's enough, right? That's enough. I feel like I could supply y'all with the joy that you're looking for with just that. Am I right? Because it's just, you know, I'm trying to figure out how all of this makes sense. And I think that's where my heart is. And, you know, I got my stickers here. Look at my Fashions Are Not Your Friends stickers. So I got stickers coming. These are coming out soon. Yeah, so we gonna do that, girl. Y'all, we gonna do that. Someone said Lisa Frank is crazy. I know. She is crazy, but that's how we got the dopeness of her stuff. She's also apparently a thief. You know, I can't speak to that, but what I will say is I was a Lisa Frank-aholic. You hear me? So yeah, that's what I have to figure out. I have to figure out a paper manufacturer. So that's my solve. That's what I gotta figure out. A paper manufacturer so that I can make paper goods. And then ever so often I would do something special. So for instance, my mom had figured out how I could get like coasters and placemats and napkins made. And so like that's something I would do as like a special thing for Thanksgiving or for Indigenous Peoples Day, right? I would, you know, figure out like maybe try and figure out how to do something like pencils or something like for back to school. But in the case of, you know, trying to do, cause you know, I'm too much. Miss Ebony want a mouse pad so bad. Quote unquote too much. Quote unquote too much. Wrapping paper. I know how to get wrapping paper made. That I know. No pencil pouch for back to school season. No. But yes, notepads, things like that. So I'm working it out. I'm gonna work it out and get that sorted. Look at Kimberly. Kimberly Parker has always been showing me love. She said, "You're not too much." Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you. That's the last line of my codependency chapter. Y'all want to hear the last few lines of my codependency chapter? I'm very proud of it. I to be honest, I don't know. I don't know if it's coherent because I was so tired when I was writing it. But I know that it's there enough for me to hit y'all with. I know that it's there for me to at least get to the edit and then knock out the, like, you know, it's one thing to have to write from scratch. It's another thing to write from an edit. Okay. It's another thing to write from an edit. But before we get into the word of the day and whatnot, these are the last lines of my codependency chapter. I love us. I love us free of having to love someone else. I understand us, and as this world descends into further madness, it is that love that I no longer am wasting, that I can give back to the mycelium, to heal, to restore, to nurture, to sustain. You no longer have to hide. You were never too much. You are everything this world needs. More heart, more courage, more truth. Y'all, this book is my opus. This book is my opus. Yeah, it is my opus. Like I'm putting, you know, as an artist, sometimes you're like, where am I going to get more from? Like, where am I going to get more from to do more with? And I got to tell y'all, I didn't know I had so much to put into this book. Now, I love that Miriam Raphael says what my inner niña needed to hear, because my codependency chapter is a letter to my inner child. So you right there. You right there. Look at that. We're there. Marquise asked me about Taekwondo. Marquise, let me tell you something. Your girl, I'm actually going to go tonight. Your girl is out here, okay? I'm out here on my Taekwondo. I went to the class, y'all, and I loved it. I loved it so much, okay? Yeah. Like, I was over there hitting them with kicks. Yeah. I was over there hitting them with the kicks, y'all. I was so sore. My body was like, who do you think we are? But it was such a vibe, because I just, you know, I needed to have a place to get that anger out, to get the energy out, but also to like get my blood pumping, right? To get my blood moving. So it's really dope. And your girl is out here. So I'm now in it. I'm on my Taekwondo. And y'all know that I'm looking for a Korean bae anyway. So I had to go to the hair shop the other day to get the blue hair for the for the bookmarks, and the man behind the counter, that was a fine Korean man. Yes, it was. The Korean men, they have a masculinity about them that I appreciate. They do. They got a masculinity about them that I appreciate. Yes, but it's a high cheekbone. Yes, it is. It's a high cheekbone, and I appreciate the high cheekbone. I do. If you have not watched When Life Gives You Tangerines, you're playing yourself. Okay? Look at your girl. 감사합니다. There you go, Marquis. There you go. That's how Taekwondo went. 감사합니다. Okay. Now, when you enter the mat, you gotta bow to the flags on the wall. So they got a flag, an American flag, and a South Korean flag. I said, I'm gonna tell you right now, I ain't bowing to that flag. Okay. And he was like, no. I said, no, I ain't bowing to that. I bow to the South Korean flag. I ain't gonna bow to that flag. And he was like, oh. And so, by the way, because it was spring break, there was like nobody there. So I literally had my own lesson. And so I was like doing it. And I said, I'm not bound to that flag. So then he was like, well, So then at some point, mind you, on my first lesson, before I got my uniform, I was wearing a shirt that said allergic to racists. And okay, Rachel, yes, we know that, but we're not talking about that. We're not talking about what's going on over in South Korea. We talk about like just my fantasy of Koreans here in the United States. The same way I used to have fantasies of Black men here in the United States. At the end of the day, everywhere is patriarchy. Okay? Everywhere. Everywhere is patriarchy. So all of this is just fantasy. I had to realize this morning that the person that I be fantasizing about, there's one person that I be fantasizing about right now. Like, we're not going to be together. He's not going to get it. He's beautiful and a beautiful person, et cetera, but he too flitty-flighty for someone like me. So I had to realize, okay, that's fine, Amanda. Just let him be a vessel for continuing to keep your sex drive up. Don't let the unavailability lower your imagination ability. Yes, Felicia, I clocked it. I was so proud of myself for clocking it. I was like, Amanda, stop. Properly compartmentalize this person so that you can just, do what it need to do. All right. Yes, Miriam, he has his purpose. That is his purpose. His purpose is for mental stimulation, for vibrations. Take that as you will, grown people. Okay? And there we have it. That's fine. That's fine. Okay? That's fine. So I was talking to the sensei. Actually, I'm not sure if that's his name in the Korean, in Taekwondo. The master. I was talking to the master, and he was like, well, he said something that made me say, I need to learn how to fight. I got to fight. And, I have to be able to, we have to fight. I was like, about your people fight. And he was like, well, and he was like, I wasn't born in South Korea. I said, well, let me tell you about your people. So I was telling him about his people. Someone said the fat bank. I call it the spank bank. The spank bank. Yeah. So we had a great time, and they give you a patch. We did start learning to count in Korean. They give you a patch that you have to sew on, and it is an American and a South Korean flag. Now, y'all know I'm about to cut that flag out, flip it upside down, because that's what it is. They lucky I'm not putting a save yourself patch on that hoe. How about that? Okay. And then I also will learn self-defense techniques. Yes, I will also be learning self-defense techniques. I showed some of the self-defense techniques on my Patreon. So, if you're wondering a reason to join Patreon, there you go. You can learn some self-defense techniques. So that's really what was good. I was very excited. And I just believe that, like, as an adult, like, you got to keep putting yourself in new situations to keep that brain making new connections and new neural pathways. Like, I'm gonna, thank you, Carmen. I'm gonna also learn, I'm gonna for real learn to garden. So I want to join, they have a community garden around my way. So I'm gonna go there and get into that. And, Gregory Calloway said, if you train in high heels, you'll be better. For the record, Gregory, I already know that you're annoying. So that's your one. Okay? You got one. That's your one. All right? So that's your strike. You ain't got no more, or Sandy will remove you. That's your one. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. And man, Isabel said I muted Gregory day one. Thank you. Thank you. Jonathan said, I just planted my first hydrangea in the ground, moving to lessons of acidity. Oh, see, you already ahead of me. You talking about things like acidity. I didn't even know there was such a thing as lessons of acidity. Okay. Thank you, Pamela. Appreciate you. Unicorn Born Production says, I'm a gardener. Got to learn from master gardeners out in North Hollywood. I'm currently in Buffalo, New York. I would love to give you some tips and tricks for urban gardening. First, I gotta like get the spaces and places because there's a lot of deer around my way. So I can't just be casual because they was like, them deer is going to get your whole situation. They're going to get your whole situation. So I gotta figure out where I can put the garden that's not gonna just completely be eradicated immediately. Like, I love the deer. So part of me is like, so you're saying if I plant it, I'll get deer? But there's that. Someone has asked how the SFB at the movies went, and it was so good, y'all. SFB at the movies was such a fun time. We all were there. I couldn't believe how great the turnout was. We watched They Clone Tyrone and had a really dope discussion about the comedy as commentary in the film, why comedy was necessary to get the messaging across, how this messaging and how the commentary in the film applies to where we are now. We expanded the conversation to reflect on where we are now and ways in which we can apply forms of resistance. It was really a beautiful gathering. Thank you to everybody who joined and gave input. And it's just we're going to continue to keep creating these safe spaces. Our next one will be on Juneteenth at the same place at Nighthawk Cinema in Prospect Park. So thank you again to Prospect Park's Nighthawk Cinema location for taking such good care of us. And again, to Desmond Thorne for giving us this space and, helping me to continue to create spaces of connectivity, because that to me is what we are, so many of us are in such desire for, just spaces of connectivity. Tatiana said, even though me and my child were shy, we had a discussion in the car ride home. That's what's up. Here's the thing. I am a very big believer that we have to learn how to public speak. And I don't mean like, okay, you have to stand up and say a speech. Like yesterday, I was at a rally for Land Day in New York, and like off the cuff, Claudia de la Cruz was like, yo, you down to speak? And I was just like, all right. And I've never spoken at a rally before, y'all. I've spoken at a lot of places. I ain't never spoke at a rally before. So I wasn't really, like sure that I knew what to do. And so Claudia went before me, and thank goodness, because it gave me a template. And, we just standing there chit-chatting. Like, yeah, skabba-dabba-dibba-dabba-dibba-dabba. And then she walks up there and is like, it's like, oh, okay, that's where we at. I was like, oh, that's what we doing. Okay, that's what we doing. All right. So I had to get my act together. I had to get my act together quick. Okay. So I was proud of myself though, because I did get my act together, and I had to lean into like my days of doing spoken word and whatnot. But also at the end of the day, like, you speak from the heart, So we was out there, and it was a beautiful gathering, and I couldn't march because I needed to get home to do the book, to finish my book. But I was able to join the rally and stand, and Claudia's lovely, and the people of the People's Forum are lovely. So we just had a really, it was a really beautiful gathering of souls and spirits in the name of Land Day. Land Day is a day of commemoration for the Palestinian people, and it reflects on a day of death that took place in the 70s when the Palestinian people were peacefully protesting the next phase that Israel was about to implement of taking Palestinian land. And there was a massacre by the IOF of Palestinian people that were peacefully protesting, and since then they continue to commemorate Land Day on March 30th, and raise voices for the protection and preservation of Palestinian land. So that was what we were out there for yesterday, and that was also really good for connecting to what we're talking about, which is why Palestine. Right? Because our last show, I should just call this a class instead of a show. I feel better about that. Our last show was about this assignment, why Palestine. So we're going to get to that. And first, we're going to get to what we have not done in a long time because we've been out of here. And that is, hey! Come on, y'all! It's the AmandaLand roll call. AmandaLanders here to learn. Drop in and tell me where you from. Yeah, drop in and tell me where you watching from. Where you watching from? AmandaLanders here to learn. Drop in and tell me where you're watching from. Let's get into it. We got Colorado, DC, South Florida, Jersey, exit 9. What's up? Brooklyn, Philly, Dallas, Fort Worth. We got Maine in the building. Brooklyn, Houston, Toledo, Ohio, Salt Lake City, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We got Long Beach, California, Auckland, New Zealand. AmandaLanders here to learn. Hey, drop in and tell me where you're watching from. We got London, UK. Aloha from Bay Area. We got upstate New York this week. South Africa. Hey, Mameli. Duval. Laos, Texas. Berlin. We in the building. AmandaLanders here to learn. Hey, Linda down there in Melbourne, Australia. Manchester, UK. Toronto, Canada. Sunnyvale, California. AmandaLanders here to learn. I'm back to hear where you're watching from. Louisville, Kentucky. Seal Beach. We got DC, Bloomfield, New Jersey, Kansas City, Missouri. We got New Orleans. Hey, Andrietta, South Orange, New Jersey. We got Lausanne. We got Kelly, Chicagoland. We got South Los Angeles. Yeah. AmandaLanders here to learn. Drop in and tell me where you're watching from. Long Island, Nassau, Bahamas. That's a new one. That is a new one, y'all. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to have to move Jedi because she is, there you go. We have a new location to add to our AmandaLanders map. Okay? We have a new location to add to our AmandaLanders map, and that is the Bahamas, because I don't think we have had, no, we don't. There's a pin for the Bahamas. Yes. Give me some flying fish. No, Bahamas isn't flying fish. Give me some lambi. Give me a conch fritter. Yeah, man. And I don't think we had a pin for New Zealand. Did we have a pin for New Zealand? We didn't. Oh my gosh. 2 new countries to our map. But guess what, y'all? Oh, I told you I was going to do a United States map. And you know, one thing about Amanda, she going to keep her word. One thing about Amanda, she gonna keep her word. Okay. So we got Southern Cal. We got NorCal. And we got Los Angeles. Okay, now we know that we have Texas. I'm just going to put a pin in the middle for Texas. We know we got Lausanne. We know that. Okay. We know Pantera Villarreal is in Colorado. We know that. I know we got some Washington folks. Okay. I know we got some Washington folks, but somebody said they from Maine. So we got Maine in the building. I love that. I love that. We got Arizona. Okay. I know, right, Felicia? Like, why is this so much fun? We got Arizona. All right. We got North, Central, and South Florida. We sure do, because we had Duval, which is Jacksonville. And then we have Orlando, I know, because Luna Bear is in Orlando. And then we got South Florida. All right. We got Jessica's at the top of the mid in Michigan. Okay. I know we got Detroit in here? All right, let's go on over to Massachusetts. Monique said the CPT is the place to be. So we got Massachusetts right here. We know we got New York. We got all over New York. Someone's in Boise, Idaho? What? We got Boise, Idaho in the building? I didn't know we had Boise, Idaho in the building, because there's certain states where I was just like, I don't know if we really gonna get them states. I don't know. Wow, we have Tulsa, Oklahoma as well. Look at that. Tulsa, Oklahoma. We have Ohio right here. Is Hamid in here today? Because that's our St. Louis. We got Kansas City, Kansas. Okay. Ooh, hold on my shoulder. You know, I'm still new to Taekwondo. My strength ain't all fully back yet. Also, y'all, your girl. So I am doing a no cheese, no ice cream April. A no cheese, no ice cream April. Because baby, them thighs, it's gotten too far. It's gone too far, y'all. And I say it's gone too far because I'm not prepared to buy new pants. I'm not doing it. Quasta, you're watching from Palestine? Quasta, are you watching from Palestine for real? Laurel said I'm brave for a no ice cream, no cheese. Is Quasta really watching from Palestine? Jerusalem? Eid Mubarak! I'm not sure if you're Muslim, but Eid Mubarak! Eid Mubarak to all of y'all out there who are celebrating the end of Ramadan, the culmination of Ramadan. Oh, Chef Khalek, Habibti. Oh, man, y'all. I get to put a pin on Palestine. Oh my gosh. I'm having a bit of a moment. Okay. I get to put a pin on Palestine. Here we go. Oh, they have some mother effing nerve. Hold on. Because they have the nerve to mislabel it on this map. So we got to correct that. They had the nerve to mislabel it on this map, and we know that is not the correct name. So let's put the correct name. You understand me? That is what my map says, Pantalla Villarreal. So I gotta correct it because we can't have that. Nope. Palestine. There we go. Corrected. All right. Now I can put the pin on. Yay! right there. Someone please explain to Niasia why watermelons. People are putting watermelons in the chat. So Niasia, the watermelons are because Israel had imposed like literal law that Palestinians could not fly the Palestinian flag and that they could not engage in anything that showed Palestinian pride. And so a way that Palestinians were able to continue to show their pride was by using watermelons to represent the colors of the Palestinian flag, right? So you have the red of the rind and then the white, which is the inside of the rind. And then you have, the green of the rind, the white of the inside, the red of the flesh, and then the seeds of the watermelon. And this also is representational of the fact that Palestinians are all about being connected to the land. So the watermelon is a way to continue to represent the Palestinian pride and the flag when the Palestinian people were not allowed to. They're still not. Okay. So anything else? So we got Pennsylvania. Let's do Jersey. Right. So we're gonna do Jersey. I know we got Maryland in the building. Oh my God, I just stuck myself with one of these pins. Dire Straits. And we got North and South Carolina. And we got Georgia, because I know we got Atlanta in the building. Okay. And we got Delaware. Delaware. Okay. And I know we got let's see. Where's Delaware? Somebody said we got Indiana too, right? We got Indianapolis. We have Alabama in the building. Who's in Alabama? Who is in Alabama? We got Indianapolis, so we got Naptown. And I know we got Chicago because Disco Kitchen is in here, right? So I know we got Chicago. But welcome our Palestinian viewer, our Palestinian Amanda Lander, by dropping some more watermelons and Palestinian flags in the chat. Okay? Make sure that she feels welcome. And then we said we have Boise, Idaho. We got Tuscaloosa, Alabama in the building. All right now. Oh, I know we have Utah. We have Utah. And we have Olympia, Oregon. And we have upstate New York. We have Oregon and Washington? We do? I did not know we had Oregon. Amanda Landers here to learn. Drop in and tell me where you're watching from. Squink, quink, 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 ding, 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 ding. All right. Aha. St. Louis. Chelsea Jones said they repping for St. Louis for the Lou. St. Louis is an interesting place. Where is St. Louis? Right here. Do we have Wisconsin or Minnesota? Anybody? Wisconsin or Minnesota? Anybody? We have Panama. We have Panama. Are you in Panama or are you from Panama? Are you in Panama or are you from Panama? Because that's different. Okay. Are you in Panama or are you from Panama? See? Oh my goodness. And we got somebody in Mississippi. All right. Yes, we can get some love for our friends on Skid Row. Shout out to my homegirl Shirley Raines out there helping the folks on Skid Row in California. We have a Montana? We do not have a Montana in here. We have a Montana? Come on now. Is that for real? Let me get Panama some love while we waiting to see if we really have a Montana, because I don't believe it. Panama representing. Oh my gosh. Look at us. Look at us. Wow. I'm proud of it. This is cool. So and then we said we have Minnesota. Yes, we do have Louisiana on the board. We have Baton Rouge and we have New Orleans. And And then we have Minnesota. Okay. All right. So that's where we at as of today. And we have Abuja, Nigeria in the building. Yep, we got you on the map, Nigeria. We definitely got you on the map. And did I just see somebody say that we got Tennessee, Cashville, Tennessee. And we have Arkansas. We have Arkansas? Do we have Arkansas? Arkansas? AmandaLanders here to learn. Drop in and tell me where you're watching from. Yeah, yeah. Kenya's in the building. Jumbo. What's the other way to say hello in Kenya? It's not Aquaba. That's Ghana. I always forget. Yeah, that 4-hour sleep is hitting. You see me getting delirious. You see me leaning all the way down onto my arm. Okay. Isabel's like, oh, she's fading. Okay. The delirium is dropping in. Well, that was fun. Okay. Skid Row did Shirley dirty? No. I'm going to have to hit her up. That's a damn shame. Why would anyone do Shirley Raines dirty? Habari Ghani, that's what it was. What reason would there be to do Miss Shirley dirty? That don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, she out there for them. Did somebody try to rob her? Man, listen. Oh, man. Well, I'm going to send her some love. We got a Montana in the building. Missoula, Montana. Okay, I got to add a pen for Montana. Have I been to Skid Row? I'm just saying, like, she had been there for so long, established as somebody that is really there for the purpose of providing for folks what was not being provided. So I don't know. I just thought maybe that would be. James flipped on it. You see, that's a damn shame. That's a damn shame, James. Was James one of her security? Because if so, I think I met James. Because they had come to my crib because I donated a bunch of stuff. And so they had come to my crib to pick it up. Damn. Carlos was security. Okay. The other guy that would help her on the street. Lord. Well, sending blessings out to Miss Shirley because she really is an angel. You know what I mean? And we got to protect her. Thank you so much, Quasta. Quasta, I really appreciate the love. And we are sending you love out there across the water. In Palestine. Are you all ready for our word of the day? I did not have time to make a word of the day intro. I will do it by tomorrow. I hit up my homeboy to make a beat for me, and he flaked on me. I really wanted it to be word of the day, word of the day, word of the day, word of the day, but he flaked on me. So I'm gonna have to find it. Okay, I'm gonna have to find the beat. So. Our word of the day is pecuniary. Pecuniary. Pecuniary is spelled Pecuniary. It is an adjective consisting of or measured in money. Consisting of or measured in money. So I would say an example of this is the current leaders of the United States are viewing the country as a only through the eyes of its pecuniary contents. Pecuniary, 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 meaning a synonym for this, right? Sick in the head would be, Claire Turlow would be monetary. And the adjective means consisting of or measured in money. Consisting of or measured in money. So Miriam says, these pecuniary bills are getting ridiculous. Yes. I do wonder though, because are there other bills that are not pecuniary? So I don't know. I feel like that might be a bit of redundancy. Yo Ahoy said, how much corporations empathize with Americans is a pecuniary metric. Ooh, yes. Diana Craig, great one. I prefer pecuniary compensation over the exposure. I hear you on that one. Carmen Vila says, some people marry for their partner's pecuniary status. That is a good one. Sarah says, we are not a democracy. We are a pecuniary oligarchy. Aberrant Crux says, we must stop conflating human value with the pecuniary value we bring to the marketplace. That was a solid one right there. Lorraine says Tesla is losing in both pecuniary and social arenas. Jonathan adds, pecuniary means of protest have been a starting point of our resistance these days. Isn't that interesting? But it's so true. Shout out to Jonathan. Jonathan contributed at our Smart, Funny, and Black at the Movies night out, and it was really cool to see him in person. He said, Jonathan said, hold up, Jonathan Gonzalez? So for all of y'all who don't be having pictures in your avatar, understand, I don't remember you as well. Like y'all be like, I'm so-and-so, and I'm like, you a name. I remember Jonathan because I see Jonathan's face on here every day. Okay. I see Jonathan's face next to Jonathan Gonzalez. He's a person. He exists in this digital space as a person. Okay. Thank you, Miss Tiff, for your props on movie night. Let's get back to more sentences. Jamaican Emerald Queen says the new federal sentencing rules aim to ensure pecuniary penalties match the actual financial harm. The new federal sentencing rules aim to ensure pecuniary penalties match the actual financial harm caused. Interesting. I haven't watched the news in 10 days, so I'm behind. Andrew Smith Tomlinson said the beasts in charge of the Oval Office can claim pecuniary success. However, their souls are empty and cannot be measured. I think we should just end it on that. We should just end it on that. Disco Kitchen said, how do you measure the pecuniary value of intellectual property? And I really believe that is up to the person. That's why I don't haggle with artists. I can either afford it or I can't. But if you say it's worth this, baby, who am I to say it ain't? You made it. If you say it's worth that, then I'm going to that's what it is. I've had artists be like, this is worth $20,000. I'm like, I ain't got that. I ain't got that. But then I've had artists say this is $1,500, and I'm like, I'm giving you more for that. I will never underpay what an artist says their rate is for their intellectual property. I will not. I'll overpay, but I will never underpay. Because I also don't want nobody to do that with me. If I say it costs this much, it costs this much. I made it, I designed it, that's it. And if you don't want it and you don't got it, respect. Now, when you're providing a particular service, I feel like there's a different scale there. So for instance, I was doing Smart Funny and Black in the crib. So we were doing like Smart Funny and Black on these internets during the pandemic. And we started trying to find another more the guys that we were working with were no longer effective. So we were looking for someone else to be able to control the slides as we're doing the show. And somebody literally said it was going to be $10,000. This woman said it was going to be $10,000 to manage the StreamYard for Smart Funny and Black in the crib. And I was like, I don't understand how it's $10,000. And I just didn't understand how it was $10,000. And my friend, who is not my friend, but at the time I thought she was, my friend who had connected me to her, I hit her up. So before I even said something to her, I hit up my friend. I was like, hey, she said it's $10,000, but I don't understand why it's $10,000. And she said, if that's the price, that's the price. I said, well, now hold on now. She was like, I mean, if you were doing a speaking engagement and you said it was $10,000, you wouldn't want somebody to question your price. I said, but I'm doing something that is uniquely, that is my unique ability. It is completely unique to me. Her running a StreamYard is not a unique ability to her. She's not doing it any different than somebody else who's going to do it. There's like one effective way to do it, and it ain't worth no $10,000, tell you that. And she ended up, so then I went back to the lady and I said, this is honestly, this is just too much for me. It's just too much. And she was like, well, the price is negotiable. And I said, okay, well, that's good to know. I would love to get on the phone so we can talk about how we can arrive at a fee that meets your needs, but that also doesn't overstretch me. And she ghosted me. And when I asked my friend who was our connect, like, hey, what happened? She said that the woman told her I'm too difficult. I'm too difficult. You know what I am. So you're right. I am too difficult to screw over. There's some girl out here. I'm not even going to say her name, but there's a lady out here talking about she worked with me and she worked with Issa Rae and one of us is insufferable and one of us is a joy. And I'm like, well, I don't know which one was insufferable and which one was a joy, but baby, we never worked together. So I'm not sure what we talking about, but keep my name out of conversations where it does not apply. That would be a sign of integrity. Keep my name out of conversations where it doesn't apply. I would greatly appreciate that. Like, why am I even being brought up? And why am I being brought up in a completely fraudulent manner? We have never worked together. Just a side note, by the way, I think people really feel like people on TV are their characters. Like, people have really decided for real that Issa Rae is Issa D and that Amanda Seales is Tiffany Dubois. The same way that I think people really feel like Will Smith was the Fresh Prince, etc. Like, we're not our characters. I hate to break it to you, but we're not our characters, y'all. We're not our characters. I hate to break it to you. And chat, you are incorrect. She was talking about all four that you just named. But yeah. So the way that I saw it when someone sent it to me was that I was being referred to in this. So I don't even know why my name was in it at all. So if I'm misinterpreting what was said, it's because why is my name in it? Again, how'd I get in it? Like, how'd I get in it? Minding my business. I didn't even know about it because I saw it. I know about it because somebody told me. Why? Because I was writing my book. Lord. All right. We are in the second hour. It's so weird, Jamaican Emerald Queen, that my name carries a buzz for clicks. I never thought that was going to be my life, that my name is a click name. Really? I did not know. I never knew that. I just didn't know that I would be, that just doesn't make sense to me, that my name would gather clickbait. So yes, Shania Ashley, please get folks together, because people don't be comprehending, and then they be trying to tell you what's not what they, and it's like, it is what it is. So Jamaica said, yeah, girl. So yeah, I'm out here, y'all. I'm clickbait, y'all. I'm clickbait, y'all. Hey, I'm clickbait. Who knew? Clickbait, 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 Manda. She's clickbait, 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 Manda. They on these internets just saying my name. Clickbait, 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 Manda. They tryna find some way and something to blame, so I can be clickbait, 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 Manda. They get their dollars tryna holler at me without saying anything directly, 'cause they don't want the smoke. They don't want the smoke. They don't want the smoke. Clickbait, 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 Manda. Yeah, they don't want the smoke. I'm available. Jamia said, I love your little autistic self. They don't want to smoke. They don't want to smoke. I'm available. Anybody who got something to say about me could come on here and say it to me. Anybody who got something to say about me can come on here and say it to me. They don't want to smoke. The young lady that been saying my name, I DM'd her and said, if you want to have a conversation about these topics, we can do it on live. What's up? And then you're like, oh, clickbait, 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 Manda. There it is. Who said it? Who said it? Bam. They fear actual resolution. Exactly. Because if they came on here, they just want to keep up conflict. And that's what happened when Kamala Harris summoned me. I realized that she didn't summon me to talk to me. She summoned me to confront me. And she was not getting what she thought, because I was not there I'm not confronting you, ma'am. I'm a voter. My concerns with you are not personal. My concerns with you are completely related to your position of power and how you're using that. It's like, so what the best case scenario of this is resolve, right? It's resolve, So when she was being huffy and puffy and very defensive, it was like, I'm not here for that. You're the vice president of the United States. Like, I'm not beefing with you. I'm not beefing with you. I am in your constituency, and I would like to relay to you information that I hope that you'll use to better serve as a public servant. But, Evilise McGill, ain't no money in the cure. God damn. Here's the thing, Libby Games. It's not even just that I would eat them up, though. It's like, I'm going to eat you up essentially with love. You understand me? Like, I'm going to eat you up with love. Like, I'm not here to insult you. And a lot of times that's where people feel like they need to go. They go to insult because they don't really have the stance to stand on. I'm working on doing an episode of Surrounded. And I feel like it would be something like, one black progressive versus 20 black conservatives. Hey, Kimberly. Thank you, Orange Moon. A gentle gathering. Yeah. A gentle gathering. So we're working on that. I'll let y'all know. I'll let y'all know how it go. We're at 600. Welcome. This is Views from Amanda Land, your news and views by any joke necessary. If you are just joining us, we are here Monday through Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern. And this means you have woken up on the right side of history. On the right side of history. Do y'all know when you're so tired that you can't imagine being able to think clearly? Like I'm on 4 hours of sleep and I'm like, will I ever be the same? Will I ever be the same? Will I ever be the same? Are y'all ready to get into your assignments? Are you ready? Pop the Balloon. Yvonne Orji is now the host of Pop the Balloon on Netflix. Thank you to someone who just made an order. Oh yeah, they always try to keep me as a villain. They want me to be a villain so bad. But I am a villain in some ways. Oh, look, there's pockets right here. Like, what are these? Like titty pockets? Oh. I thought the pockets were here. The pockets are here. Oh, that's neat. Shout out to Nor Black Nor White. This is perfect. Look, I can cross my arms and put my hands in these titty pockets. Huh. I like that. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I missed you. Okay. We here talking, I missed you. And I'm about to get into the art so serious once this book is, the book is done. So now I'm about to start the edit. Yo, I finished the book. It's hitting me. I finished my book. I finished my book. It just hit me. I finished my book. I finished my book. I wrote another book, yeah. I wrote another book, yeah. I wrote a book. I wrote a book. I wrote a book, yeah. I wrote a book. I wrote a book, yeah. I wrote a book. Ooh la 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 Woo, baby. I wrote a whole book, another one. Wow. That's wild. That's wild. I should teach you a masterclass on how to write your stories, Jamaican. Early. Emerald Queen. I got a lot of masterclasses I need to teach. Yes, Orange Moon said, congrats, author. Okay. Author. That's how Raquel would say it. Congrats, author. 4 hours sleep, Amanda, is delirious. 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 Outline. Girl, I ain't write no damn outline. Outline. Child, I wrote a table of contents. I ain't writing an outline now. It was a table of contents, and that table of contents kept changing up because as I was writing, I'd be having epiphanies. I had an epiphany. Okay. So I wrote the chapter about the codependency. The first version of that chapter was about my dad. So it was a father issues chapter. But after I wrote it, I was just like, it just doesn't feel. It just didn't feel, you know what I mean? Like, it just didn't feel like what I was doing with the book. So then I was like, I'm going to. LaVon said the table of contents was content. Okay. I want y'all to know that I thought the LA Jones was Laurel because she a white girl in the picture. Like, I don't know where Laurel came from, but I just decided that. And her name is LaVon. And there's a whole story behind the LaVon, but I just think that is amazingly hilarious. And of course, she got a black man. If you're a white girl named LaVon and you're not with a black man, that's not math that makes sense to me. That's unmathing. But if you're a white girl named LaVon and you with a black man, like, that's math that maths. Can we all agree? That's math that maths. Like 2 + 2 equals power to the people. Oh, that's right. Clarification. LaVon Jones. This is a white woman, but she is a black man. LaVon Jones. Like, she's not showing up nowhere with anyone thinking a white person is arriving. Nobody is thinking a blonde white girl's arriving when your name is LaVon Jones. Nobody. That's her name. You're hilarious. Interconnect said, leak the PDF. No, y'all got to buy my book. Rolando is in the building. What's up? What is up? Oh my God. Y'all be like, Amanda, are you okay? Because I am delirious. Want to remind you all that Shannon said, dang, her name blacker than mine. Her name blacker than mine. Jeez. Want to remind you that April 5th is a big day of protest that's taking place. And for a myriad of reasons. And there's so many things that are requiring protest. I also want to remind you all that when it comes to protest, being in the streets is not enough. And I'm just letting us know that now, because I think we've been doing that. We've been doing that, but that's running its course. And so we are going to be doing a course on forms of resistance. So that's what I want to start next week. But this week, before I left, I gave an assignment. And the assignment was titled, Why Palestine? And I asked you all to consider why Palestine has become such a continuing and growing source of resistance, and to focus on just one reason and expound upon that. And you all were able to do written submissions as well as video submissions. So I sifted through and I chose 3 written submissions as well as 3 video submissions to share. And these were based, the reasons these were chosen were based on a couple of things. One, did you follow directions? So that was the initial, like, you're going to get threaded out if you didn't follow directions. 2 was, did you actually answer the question? Because I think some people may not have understood what I was asking for. And so they did not really answer the question. And then 3 was, and by the way, one person didn't even answer the question. They had their husband come on and answer the question. Let me tell y'all something about y'all and these husbands. Okay. I get that that's your man. I get that that's your partner. I get that that's your husband. If he want to do a video submission, then he need to watch the show and do his own video submission. Okay. If he want to come on the show, he need to reach out and come on the show. And I say this as somebody who has for so long lived as a codependent. And I'm not saying that's them, but as somebody who was a codependent, I would constantly be in the gap for my man. I will constantly be the one promoting them and, you know, presenting them and connecting them, etc., etc. And it's like, I'm proud of you and you great and you awesome. But baby, I need you to do this. And it felt like a commercial. I think she wanted a man to come on the show. And, you know, listen, I'm not knocking this brother by any means. However, at the end of the day, if he's about being on the show, then he needs to do his own video and he needs to be here in the chat and he needs to reach out directly. I don't even do managers for anybody. Okay? I don't do that. I've had guests on here who try and connect me to a manager. I said, nope, nah, I'm not doing that. I don't want to deal with your manager, because managers and publicists who are not given the correct a direction feel like now, my rising sign is Virgo, feel like now you got to explain to them and validate why this person is being asked to come on the show. I'm not doing that. All right? I'm not doing that. Like, at the end of the day, if me and this person have decided that this person is good for coming on the show, then all you need to do is facilitate the scheduling. And so, yeah, I don't do managers. I don't do publicists. I don't do partners. Okay? I don't do it. So when I say some people didn't answer the question, I mean literally, you need to be the one answering the question, not asking your man so he could sit here and pontificate. I want to know what you think, love. I want to know what you think, sis. Yeah. You're supportive, but you're doing too much for my liking. So that works for maybe other folks, but in this context, that wasn't it. All right, now the third factor that made these choices be the ones that I chose to post was honestly just the level of effort that had been put into it, you know, and you could see that there was a lot of thought and that there was editing that took place. I mean, literal editing in some cases with the video, but then also editing in the writing in terms of like choosing to be concise and precise with their words, which was something I had mentioned, I think is, you know, something important in this time of no attention span. So let's start with a video. Remember, I had set all of this up before the show, and then I had to start again because the technologies was acting up. So it's not as seamless as I would like it to be, but we gonna thug it out and we gonna get there. Okay, so our first video is by Adrienne. Why Palestine? And she's titled it Land Soul Loss.
Why has Palestine captured the sustained attention of activists? I believe it comes down to something that I will call land soul loss. Soul loss is when a trauma divides parts of one's spirit. Land soul loss is when someone has traumatically been removed from the land they lived on generationally, and they're thus similarly divided. Reunification is the only cure. So many disputes and wars have been fought over land, the idea of home. Does me planting this garden make New York City home? Would having the deed to this land make it mine? The garden represents the earth, all land. No one owns it. And if we tended well, if I break this grass up and put in new soil and watch the weather, by May there will be seedlings, and by July, food, flowers, herbs. The longer I tend this little patch, the more I get to know it. I'm watching the light, the weather, even moon cycles. I have this knowledge within me, but I do need to be taught by others, more experience, and by my own experience. The pain in being separated from the land your body was made for, divided from the knowledge your folks have for that particular patch, is a loss hard to describe. Tying your legal name to something doesn't mean you get to keep it either. Tell that to those who lost homes in fires, floods, human takeover. With Palestine, we see this dividing of indigenous people from land in real time. As activists, This can flash us back to our own divides. Proponents of this division are also acting out of fear of their own land soul loss. They've either been divided from their land in their family's past, or live in fear of being divided of it now, or both. Every day I come to this patch this spring, I'm healing from my own loss and rebuilding my relationship with land. My faith that if I tend something with love and care, the sun will still shine, the rain will still come, and it will grow. As do Palestinians, as do most humans. Nurturing any person in their gentle stewardship with the land can repair our own loss if we let it. Maybe not now, but begin healing for generations later. Repair for one is repair for all. Does the next owner of this patch nurture the generations of planting in this dirt? Nurture this little worm that is small and who was here first? Do you want to remain connected to the soil with grace and generosity? Or do you want to hold on so tightly that you smother any true growth? That is why Palestine, why we care. Protecting Palestine and supporting them on their land is protecting and supporting our humanity itself.
I mean, so proud. Honestly, truly. Just really. Adrian, that was an incredible job. This is what I want this space to be. This is a special space. And you guys are helping. I'm feeling emotional. You guys are helping to cultivate. It's like this space is like a garden. It's like what Adrian's talking about in that video. It's like, that's what this space is. It's like a garden that we're all tilling. And by the way that you guys are pouring into this space, you guys are also shaping the way that it's growing and the way that it is, flourishing. And I had no idea when I gave this assignment, that we would get responses that like we did. But you guys are so thoughtful, and I commend everyone who submitted. So let me also make that clarification. Even if you were not picked, I commend you for even taking the time, because regardless, you exercised your mind. You exercised your mind in a myriad of ways that we as Americans are not considered competent at. We don't practice at doing that, but we also, as adults, stop doing that. We stopped doing that. So thank you, Adrian, for sharing with that one. That was an incredible start to our sharing of these selections. Let's go to a written selection let's go with our buddy Reese Roberts out in England. Reese says, why Palestine? I also just like how some of y'all are very similar to me in like your name, the title of the assignment. Like it's all there. So Reese says, cultural responsibility. He says, a factor that has contributed to the sustenance. Actually, let's play some music under it. Let's play some music. A factor that has contributed to the sustenance of the Palestinian liberation movement since the mid-20th century. I would surmise this factor to be cultural responsibility. In championing and safeguarding their cause globally, Palestinians have honed in on and celebrated their traditions, which includes language, cuisine, traditional attire to film, music, and literature, all of which formulates artivism. Art through activism, which is an additional cultural responsibility, replenishes the soul while maintaining the focus of the movement in question. Furthermore, Through the efforts of launching grassroots initiatives such as PACBI, who have sustained a historic boycott, divestment, and sanctions motions against Israel, cultural events, and educational programs, these endeavors have transcended borders, united Palestinians, and reinforced their commitment to the cause amongst the global diaspora. The essential reminder here is that cultural responsibility is not a quick fix. It is a practice that must be continuously poured into, but in doing so will bear the flourishing fruit needed to inspire, to galvanize, and to act with courageous conviction. I mean, y'all are so brilliant. Y'all are so brilliant. What Reese is saying here is that one of the reasons that that the Palestinian movement has continued to gain steam, that it has continued to expand, is because of cultural responsibility. The continuous practice that Palestinians have committed to in being responsible for the preservation of their culture through a myriad of efforts. And that has continued the flow. It serves as a momentum to continue this. I think that's a very thoughtful and accurate response. And I thank you for submitting it, Reese, all out there across the pond. Let's get into another video response from our boy out there in Chicago.
Palestine? Excuse me, I gotta read. Why not Palestine?
Disco Kitchen Info. Check it out. Disco Kitchen Inc. Sorry.
Spiritually speaking, we all know that it's all spiritual or the lack thereof. No, it's spiritual. However, it's more of a spiritual malady. I must speak in the perspective of the elephant in the room, not my own hopeful vision-filled 5D perspective. The facts are that Palestine is considered by God, geographically, historically, genetically, and spiritually, the promised land, promised to the promise. Abraham and his seed or descendants, which include but are not limited to Isaac, Ishmael, Joseph, David, and Yeshua. The Christ, the Rabbi, Word made flesh, the Good Shepherd, the Good Samaritan, and so many other beautiful names. Yeshua in his teaching throughout his whole life held the position that we all could be like him. He was the guide. I remember hearing someone say that the miracle wasn't that Jesus walked on water, yet that he walked for 32 years on this earth without sin. Although most human beings dismiss the willingness to even try to what would Jesus do in certain situations, the after the fact thought mostly as a result of consequences like, dang, if I only did this or if I only did that, implies that walking like Jesus, in fact, was doable. Now, with this in mind, the promised land and its rightful inhabitants would increase to potentially a bunch of folks. Hold that thought. In steps Iblis, morning star, light bringer, handsome, beautiful, wise, muscular, perfectly made. Iblis, or Lucifer, was the most beautiful angel created by God. God, being the creator that he is, decided to make man, you and I. And he decided to make us in his very own likeness. Iblis, or Lucifer, instead of praising the creator for his perfect creation, became jealous, rebellious, and in my words, outright ungrateful. Iblis challenged God, his own creator, saying that he was indeed superior to Adam, or man, and that he himself was made out of fire and that Adam was made of mere clay. His mission is to destroy man and any plan that God has for us. Pride of life, lust of the flesh, and lust of the eye is Iblis, now Satan's prime focal point when it comes to destroying man. In my opinion, the root cause of this vicious envy and disdain for the land, the people, and their godly essence, it's envy or jealousy. This lower spirit moves and infects every timeline. Not only are the people of Palestine in the geographical, physical sense being persecuted, yet the essence of God's promise in every human being because of our Yeshua potential. The land, bountiful, rich with resource, mainly the people, but natural gas and other things created by capitalism, Satan's whole card, is the overlay for the underplay. It's just Satan defying God and doing everything in his power to show that God's creation, Adam or man, is subpar and unfit to compete with his beauty, his social status, his paper notes, his jealousy. the aboriginal characteristic that causes man to do the most unspeakable things to other men, who are literally, with a few good what would Jesus do, are the rightful inhabitants of Palestine, the promised land.
Come on, man. Come on. Come on. God dang it. Y'all so brilliant. I never thought of it like this. Y'all gonna have to watch that again. My only honestly note for the videos is that I wish y'all had added captions. Honestly, that's the only note, because there is something so incredibly, I'm gonna have to be a teacher so that I can be taught. It's for selfish reasons. It's for selfish reasons. 10 out of 10 would recommend. That was really beautiful. That was really beautiful, because one of the essence of intellectualism is, I love Rolando. Rolando said, you aren't? Rolando and Nasra are masters at like 3-word just moments. And then Terry is the master at the pop culture. Terry is my pop culture soulmate. We have existed in the same time and space continuum. Okay? But yeah, we're gonna have to rewatch this. I know and I've watched it 3 times already. It is, for me, my gift. So okay. When I was in college, I had a teacher who was he wasn't a professor, but he was a teacher, and he was terrible. He was a teacher. I'm tired. Okay. I had a movement teacher who then, okay, so I'm gonna get to this answer, because Disco Kitchen, we just, first of all, we are inspired. That's the overlay for the underplay. That's the overlay for the underplay. And I would love to hear this when you don't feel like you have only 3 minutes. Because he was like, I only got 3 minutes. But I appreciate that. So when I was in college, I sat down with Michael Day for my review, my semester review or whatever. And he, at the end of the year, was like, Amanda, you're a witch. And I was like, what the heck? Who is this man? Guard. And he said, this is not an insult. This is an asset. And he said, you're a witch because you can conjure. He said, you can conjure the best from those who don't know they have it, and the worst from those who are hiding it. And he said, you need to know that, because that will be an integral part of how you are moved and received through the world. And I find that I do have a gift of like creating spaces for the displaying of people's gifts. Like, I can get the best out of folks. Like, I have an uncanny, and that's my empath gift, right? So it's an uncanny ability to like tap in and like tap out, like to pour out. And I feel like we got to hear some pour out of dopeness, of rich potent, robust dopeness from the beautiful mind of Disco Kitchen Official. And I really am so glad that you felt compelled by this space to do this assignment, because we all elevated a bit just now by taking part in receiving your words. So thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so we have got a few more. Okay, we've got a few more. So let's get into the next written submission. And this is from Radical Sudanaya, aka Fatima Aslam. Oh, wait, no. This is the wrong one. Hold on. Hold on. This is supposed to be from Fatima Aslam. Hold on, let me get the right one. Oh no. Oh yeah. No, sorry. I got it right. I got it right, y'all. Yes. Okay. So this is from Radical Sudanaya, aka Ryan. Hold on. I want to make sure I put the proper name up here. Bear with me real quick, y'all. Bear with me. I apologize. Okay. So let's get to reading. Oh, the name was up there. Amanda. The Palestinian struggle has become a global focus because it exposes systemic land dispossession driven by violent, militarized greed. From Gaza to Sudan, the same violent pattern repeats. Powerful states and corporations make deals to displace people, seize territory, and turn genocides into profit. In Gaza, Israel has systematically erased Palestinian farmland, wiping 40% of Gaza's agricultural land in 2024 alone, using starvation as a weapon to violently remove people from their homes. Meanwhile, in Sudan, the UAE and US-backed Rapid Support Forces, the RSF, burns villages and steals millions of acres of fertile land, handing it to profit-hungry Gulf and Russian investors. This is no accident. It is a project unfolding as intended. Western armed militaries clear the land, local and foreign capitalists profit, and the US and UAE fund all sides while genocide secures the territory. Gaza's resistance has exposed the lies. These aren't conflicts, but calculated campaigns for power and profit, with identical networks enabling land grabs from the West Bank to Darfur. When we stand with Palestine, we're resisting a global machine built on lies that treats human lives and ancestral lands as disposable profit centers. Come on! Come on! Come on! She wove within that small paragraph so much information that was all interconnected, okay? That this is an empirical example of critical thinking and intellect. Because critical thinking is the connecting the dots to advance us to a new thought. In her thesis, the reason that she chose to discuss, and there's many reasons, but the reason that she chose for why Palestine has become such an integral part and such a continued effort of global resistance is because in the exposing of the lies via Palestine, the global populace has become educated, informed, I should say, of the truth in what is really behind these conflicts, and thus can now challenge them with the goal of bringing them to a stop. Fabulous work. Really fabulous work. Really thought what's the word I'm looking for? Really thoughtful and really precise, and really just great precision in how you set us up, brought us to the point, and wrapped us up. Really beautiful work, Ryan. Kudos. Kudos. All right, we got 2 more. Are y'all still with us? Are y'all still with us? Oh my gosh, for real? That makes me feel good because we need our emotions on 10. We got to keep our emotions alive. That's our soul speaking. Y'all still with us, y'all? Mm-hmm. I also love that y'all are getting to see how the members of your community, like you're getting to see their intellect, like you're getting to see their and the way that their intellect is showing up in humanitarian thought. Right? So that's something that encourages us to understand like the depth of our community, right? All right, we got 2 more. All right, so let's get into a video.
Palestine is a source for convergence for so many.
Hold on. Let's try this again.
Palestine is a source for convergence for so many globally, is because we are watching a genocide be live streamed, which is unprecedented before, on our phones. The access that we have to information is very unique. We are hearing about things in real time. We are able to make relationships with Palestinians, with reporters, with regular people in ways that was not possible before. We are able to humanize these stories. We are able to see past just statistics and numbers. We are seeing real people be affected. For example, Abu Khalid, soul of my soul, the grandfather who held his granddaughter and mourned for her. Typically, you would see someone like Abu Khalid and categorize him as maybe a terrorist, or, you know, someone racist would do that. Obviously, not everyone would do that, but what we saw was the most gentlest soul mourning his granddaughter, and we could empathize with him. He was just a grandpa who wanted to see his granddaughter grow up. Even months later, when we saw him get targeted and get killed, the world mourned his death because it felt like we all knew him, like he was all of our friend. Mm-hmm. And even journalists that we have formed such deep relationships with. Today we are mourning the death of Hassam, 23-year-old Al Jazeera journalist who's been targeted. We are able to make these connections in ways that was not possible before, and it's unprecedented. We are seeing Palestinians more than just as numbers and statistics. We are humanizing them. We are seeing them as real people. We are putting ourselves in their shoes. And the way that we have all this access to this information is very unique. It makes us move in ways that maybe we wouldn't have otherwise. We want to boycott, we want to protest, we want to amplify those voices on the ground. We don't care if our Instagram accounts are taken down. Now we don't care if we're literally getting detained.
Yes. Sometimes we need to, it may have seemed obvious, but it was needed to be verbalized here. When people ask me, when people make these constant comparisons to the civil rights movement, they do so without acknowledging the one major difference between the civil rights movement and now. Wi-Fi. Huge, massive difference. And Fatima here lays it out, doing the critical thinking and comparative analysis exercise of advancing not only stating that having Wi-Fi gives us the opportunity to see these people, having internet sees these people, it takes it a step further. It humanizes them. It allows us to humanize. You know, Wi-Fi in a way is kind of like the digital form of the mycelium. It provides a connectivity that brought a whole other layer to the root system beyond the vibrational energy jet stream, it in many ways actualized that. You know, I consider myself someone who is a part of the mycelium. I consider the mycelium to be God. God is us, all of us. The all-knowing is the fact that we're all connected. So that means we all know. And the internet has basically become a version of like a God tool in that way. So when we use it for these purposes of humanization, of elevating empathy, we are doing what is supposed to be done with technology, which is not diminish our humanity, but to expand it. And these capitalists use technology to diminish. But this message from Fatima is speaking to exactly what technological advancements and what, you know, human advancement is supposed to do. So thank you, Fatima, for contextualizing that for us. Thank you for wearing that dope sweatshirt that I will steal off your back if I see you. And thank you all of you who submitted videos. I really appreciate the attention to detail, the thoughtfulness, and the quality. I am so honored that you felt compelled to share in this way. So we're going to end with one last submission. This is a written submission. It's short, sweet, and deep. Okay? This is by Five Fights. The genocide against Palestinians. The genocide against Palestine is a source of global convergence because it spotlights the absolute depravity of the West as a shifty, extortionist institution. A live-streamed genocide negates the need to point back at a whitewashed or erased history. We're bearing witness to exactly how Western empire was made and to what extent it will go to tell us what we're looking at is not what we see. The lie line from 15th century Indian savagery to 21st century Biden's beheaded babies is a straight one. The spine of these 500-plus-year-old lies is being torn from its doomed body with every cry of dissent. Along with gender, labor, war, religion, and race, in questioning genocide, we are questioning the validity of the world's current falsified order. Okay, first of all, y'all be writing. Y'all be writing. This is beautiful. Okay, I'm going to break this down with y'all because it's short enough to do so. First of all, I just want to point out, just in terms of structure, that I appreciated the restating of the point within the beginning of the piece. The genocide against Palestine is a source of global convergence because, thank you. That tells us where we're going. This is a writing class right now. That tells us where we're going. Okay, that is now saying this is the thesis I am about to explain. It spotlights the absolute depravity of the West as a shifty, extortionist institution. So that is the thesis statement. Okay, the thesis statement is that the genocide against Palestine is a source of global convergence because it spotlights the absolute depravity of the West as a shifty, extortionist institution. Real quick, before anybody here says, why are we doing a writing class? This is not about a writing class. It's about organizing your thoughts. And when you have something on paper and we're able to go through it, it helps you to, through somebody else's writing, understand how to organize your thoughts. And the better you get at organizing your thoughts, the less timid, the less fearful, the more confident that you will feel to be able to not only stand up for yourself, but stand up for others. Right? And so much of what we're going to have to do is not just be able to physically fight for ourselves, but to be able to verbally fight for ourselves. All right, let's continue. So the thesis is that the genocide in Palestine the genocide against Palestine is a source of global convergence because it spotlights the absolute depravity of the West as a shifty extortionist institution. They go on to say a live stream genocide. So what they're going to do is prove this. So the next sentence to prove that it spotlights the absolute depravity of the West as a shifty extortionist institution is by stating a live stream genocide negates the need to point back at a whitewashed or erased history. The reason why that's an important sentence is because it's saying we don't have to reference something as proof from the past. We have present proof, which is very valuable. They say that without saying that in this statement, that the present proof is valuable more so than simply referring back to the back. They next go on to continue to prove this thesis. We're bearing witness to exactly how Western empire was made, and to what extent it will go to tell us what we're looking at is not what we see. This is yet another example of their thesis that the spotlighting of the absolute depravity of the West as a shifty extortionist institution is why the global convergence is happening. So if they're showing us how empire was made as well as gaslighting us, that is another example of them being a shifty extortionist institution. They go on with a third point, the lie line, which I love that term that I've never heard before, but I love me an alliteration. And it's an alliteration. It's not onomatopoeia, but it's what is it when it's the vowels matching? Lie line. The alliteration is in the first letter, but I forgot what the sounds is. That's not a homophone. Onomatopoeia, I don't know. Anyways. The lie line from 15th century Indian savagery to 21st century Biden's beheaded babies is a straight one. The spine of these, okay, so that's what they're assonance. Thank you, Andrew Smith Tomlinson, assonance. Thank you. So what they're saying for their third reason, their third thesis point is that we can see the connectivity in real time of how language is used to be disingenuous in supporting a genocide. Now, this next line was the line that broke me. The spine of these 500-plus-year-old lies is being torn from its doomed body with every cry of dissent. What I love about this phrase, this sentence, is that it personifies the lies. Oftentimes, I feel like these lies are kind of spoken about like they just came from nowhere, right? Like they just popped out of existence, when the truth is no, they were given life by a life, and they have taken life. So they exist as an entity. The lies themselves are a body that continues to move through. In closing, they say, along with gender, labor, war, religion, and race, in questioning genocide, we are questioning the validity of the world's current falsified order. They proved their thesis, and then they concluded it with what our actions are doing to challenge this shifty extortionist institution that has been proven in these sentences. I'm gonna just pop my collar real quick because, you know what I'm saying? Like, you are the company you keep. Okay? You the company you keep. So, like, y'all being this brilliant is a reflection of my brilliance. I'm gonna just take that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Yes, Rolando. Cooked, ate, left no crumbs. Thank you to all of you. This was so fabulous. And I have to say, being out for a week, doing the work that I was doing, and coming back to this was incredibly fortifying. Truly, incredibly fortifying. I thank you all so much. And we're going to have to do this again. Okay? We're going to have to do this again. I want to thank Sandy for proctoring and making sure that folks got the information, their YouTubes vetted so that they could upload. And Shelly, we're not doing this. I did not assume you were in a codependent relationship. You heard what you wanted to hear. I literally said, as a codependent, not saying you are. That's literally what I said. So it sounds like a hit dog is hollering right now. There was an assignment that you put your husband on screen to answer. After you've already emailed me about putting your husband on the show, after you've already continuously been in here about putting in your husband on the show. I get that you want to put your husband on, okay? I understand that. You love him. You believe in him. I hear you. That was not the assignment. That was not the assignment. Husband, boyfriend, whatever. That was not the assignment. The assignment was you. So I don't know. Get her out of here. Get her out of here. Rolando, get her out of here. When people tell me to relax, you can get the fuck on. That's what you can do. Okay? Get her out of here. What we not gonna do is try to diminish my emotions. We not gonna shame my emotions. That's not what we gonna do. Get out of here. Goodbye. I wake up and do this shit for free every day. You're not gonna sit here and tell me to relax. Get your act together. And we sitting here talking about this and you still in the chat like, ma'am, go ahead on. Okay. Listen, I couldn't do it without Rolando and Sandy and Elijah. They are great for an exit. They are like, go on with it. Go on with it. You tried it. And here's the thing. I didn't even say her name. She came in the comments and outed herself. Okay. She came in the comments and outed herself. So, and one thing I know about my gut is my gut do not be wrong. No, it don't. My gut be on it. Okay. So this is about Palestine. And I don't know if now she's saying it's not her husband. I don't know. Maybe I misinterpreted that. But, when are y'all gonna know who I am? I'm the same person every time. I've been the same person my whole life. I've never not been this person. Okay. And Sandy said, whoop, got to go. Yeah, we don't do that. We don't do that. I do not play with those words. Relax. When people tell you to calm down after they antagonize you, I don't do that. And I just talked about this in the chapter that I wrote, how I've had to eradicate anyone from my life who shames my feelings and my expression of them. You know, this manipulation of having an issue with how you react without acknowledging the impetus that caused the reaction. I don't do that. And I also really feel like when we are doing this suppression of emotions, when we are shaming people for having emotions, we are so often, what we're doing is silencing their soul speaking in its natural language. You know, that's what we're doing. And there's a difference between propaganda. There's a difference between coercion. There's a difference between manipulation. That's not what I'm talking about. Emotion is me saying to somebody, you know, what you did and the way you went about it really upset me, and it just made me feel uncomfortable. And maybe you weren't aware that that was gonna affect me that way, but it did. And then having that person say, I just don't understand your anger. Why are you angry? After you have just explained that. That type of movements right there, them type of movements right there, no. Now if you say, okay, I was not intentionally trying to upset you, but I would like to understand more about how we got here. That, genuine. That right there, that's how we love, y'all. That right there is how we love. And I knew that it was, I knew that my relationship was kind of like it wasn't going to get better when it reached a point where I could do that with my partner, no matter how irrational he was behaving. I could do that with him. I want to understand more of your feelings. I want to understand what you're actually feeling. You're giving me a lot of anger and noise and volume right now, but it isn't giving me clarity on how I can be a point of resolution. Then that would make him more mad. Right, Felicia. But then when it's me, I get a wall. I get, why you always upset? Why you always complaining? I get that. Just a side note, just let me for a second vent, because I had written this whole chapter yesterday. That was the most complaining man ever. Okay? And he would be complaining about me complaining. Yeah, we got to get curious. Curiosity is the kicker. Curiosity is compassion. It truly, truly is. Curiosity is compassion. And once I came to really understand that my curiosity was not a representation of weakness, that curiosity, there was strength, there was love, there's action in curiosity. Oh my God, y'all make my day. Y'all make my day. I miss y'all so much. Once I came to realize that, it changed how I interact with the world. So even, okay, I'm not perfect. We know that, right? Like, I'm not perfect at all. Nobody is perfect. However, I do think that there is something valid in having an authentic response to something and evolving through it to a more refined response. So like when Jessie Woo had initially said my name in a relation to something that I felt was unnecessary, maybe a month ago, my initial response was to like my mask was triggered. My protective mask was triggered, right? So my protective mask that was born out of my youth and being shamed for being quote unquote too much and too perceptive and all of these things, like my protective mask was not to make me quieter, but to make me protective of that person. So I was always on defense. And so being on that defense, I'm going to have to like swell up. So that was my natural response. And I'm still consistently working on not leaning into that response all the time, which I'm getting much better at. But that was my natural response. Now, I'm not going to shame myself for that response, because that response there was a catalyst for that. However, I moved through that response and then said, let's get to resolve. Let's get to solution. And the best way to do that is communication. And that's when I reached out and sent the DM saying, if you'd like to have a conversation about this, I would be willing. Like, I would like to have a conversation in the same space where you were talking about this without me. Let's have a conversation about it. And she didn't respond to that, which is, it's her prerogative. I just wanted to show that as like an arc in my own self-growth of kind of just continuing to pursue compassion and curiosity and also like your best self, your elevated self. And it's a practice. It's like Taekwondo. It's a practice. And this makes me so proud. Kitty Tao said, not for nothing, I have an alarm set so I don't miss these. I really didn't realize how much this feeds me until last week. Yo, we're giving nourishment. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So let's close it out, y'all. How about it? Let's close it out. What a day. AmandaLand. PSA. Public seals announcement. So I spent the last 10 days really unplugged for real. I was writing. I boarded Jordy, who we love, but has a frenetic energy that as an empath, I am always tethered to. So when he's here, there's a certain, it's like an app open on my phone that I'm not using, but it's still draining the battery. Okay. And so I boarded Jordy and he had the time of his life. Okay. He had the time of his life. I'm going to show y'all a picture of Jordy having the time of his life because I need y'all to have this joy in your life. Okay. So this was so incredibly restorative for me. I genuinely can't even fully express in words yet. We have someone watching from Sierra Leone. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. Let me not. Y'all know I'm Audi ADHD. Okay, I'll get back to that. Okay. I needed these days. I needed these days to let my mind rest. And even though I continued to work on my writing and I worked on the orders for AmandaLand exports, I didn't have the noise of the devil. I mean, that may sound like kind of like kitschy, but the news is something that we have to know about. However, it is weaponized against us. And it is consistently overwhelming us as an effort to quiet us, to drain us. And what I hope to do with this space is to provide you with what you need to know while also providing with what you need to grow. And I thank you all for so graciously giving me that time. And I'm going to do this once a quarter. I'm going to need a 10-day pause, a 10-day shutdown, recalibration once a quarter if I'm going to continue to be able to manage. But also it's just a mental health, but it's also just a wellness for all. And I think it's necessary that we find whatever that is for us. I haven't had a break in years. And it wasn't even completely a break because I still have responsibilities. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't a vacation by any means. But I was able to at least put on pause the constant processor that is working towards a greater good. And actually for a few days get to just kind of simmer in the greater good that we have created. I got you topped, Yasmin. I've been working since I was 8. How about that? But you know what? We shouldn't have had to do none of that. You know who hasn't been working? This is the face of somebody who doesn't have to work. Okay? This is the face of somebody who just lives their best life. Do you understand? Look at Jordy, y'all. Have a good day, Adrian. Thank you. Y'all, look at Jordy. Hi, my name is Jordy. That's what he's saying in this picture. He had a blast. I'm so thankful to the people at the dog boarding place. This is why I don't mind paying them, because I know that he is really living his best life and they love him. Every time I go to pick him up, they're like, oh, we love Jordy. Yeah. So shout out to the baby Jordy, y'all. Shout out to the baby Jordy. And that is the end of my PSA. The baby Jordy. PSA. So that's it, y'all. That's the show. We back. We at it. This was incredible. I hope you enjoyed yourself as much as I did. Remember to tell a friend about the show and supporting it. Remember April 5th, if you can get out there, people will be in the streets protesting and standing up. Remember that why am I holding this mic? Oh, I know why I'm holding this mic, because it's time to show our love. Hey, 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 show your love. Show your love. Show your love. I'm too tired. I don't got it. I'm too tired. Isabella's like, shut it down. The map. Thank you, Hot Skull. The freaking map. We get to add Sierra Leone to the map. All right, let's go to the motherland right there. Whoop, Freetown, Sierra Leone. Look at the expansiveness. Look at the expansiveness. Thank you all for making my work feel so valuable. You know what I mean? Feel so valuable. Oh, Reese, you know what? I haven't heard that song in a long time. Sierra Leone. Yeah, that was my jam. Thank you to everybody who submitted a super today. We appreciate you. Welcome back, class. And Patricia, I just want you to know that in the back of my mind, this whole show has been the fact that I'm not going to be able to display and perform a seamless posting of 30 seconds of stillness, because when I had to leave out and come back, it erased the video, and so it's not able to be right here for the right here in my grasp. I just want you to know that. Okay. Yeah. All right. Peace to the gods, sun, earth, moon, and stars. Actually, you know who used to say that? My homeboy, John Price. Rest in peace to John Price. Let's get into it. When we do our 30 seconds of stillness, I want you to do something during that 30 seconds of stillness. I want you to lift up the souls that are the souls that are leaving us. The reason I'm saying this is because I really deeply fear our desensitization of death, of unnatural death. When I hear, and I say this as a response to myself, because when I heard that 137 people died, it was like, oh, that's not that bad. Like, I felt myself say that, because the numbers have been so extreme in comparison to that I felt myself say that. And that rattled me. And so we have to keep our clarity, right? And keep our humanity. And we have to do that consciously. So when we do our 30 seconds of stillness, I ask that we make a point during that time to lift up those who are up and whose biological bodies are now in the ground. "30 seconds of stillness." I enjoyed laughing and learning with you. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And tell your friends. Also, listen to the podcast. It's available everywhere pods are casted. Listen ad-free by subscribing to Patreon Amanda Seals. Come on and join the Seals Squad. Views from AmandaLand. Live 10 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Wednesday, with content on Thursday and Friday at YouTube Amanda Seals TV.